What's up, Honey Badger Nation? Man, I'm excited for today's call. This is episode 92 of Expert Mentors Live. We've got all the way from lovely San Diego, Zandra Ulloa on,
Yes.
and we're going to talk winning systems and team culture. Say hello to the Honey Badger Nation.
Hello, Honey Badgers. Happy Wednesday.
For everybody kind of tuning in, besides your love for tacos, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. I'm a mom, a boss, a team lead, running a very successful, amazing group of talented individuals here in San Diego, and really just California. Obviously, being with EXP, we're able to expand. So we're really here saturating San Diego County as a whole, from every level of experience and every age, just doing what we love.
That's awesome. And I mean, you guys are absolutely crushing it. You said, really successful. That can be kind of a word that gets thrown around loosely.
Right.
So define success, for you and your team and, kind of the standard that you set yourself up against.
Success in our office means just showing up, doing what we love to do, and being okay with whatever the day gave us and the experience, results, and success behind that. So for success is really just not giving up. There's some agents who only do 10 deals a year. There's some agents that do 50 deals a year. And whether they're 2 years on the team and in the business or 20 years on the team in the business, everyone really is fulfilled here. And success is definitely defined as just continuing to show up.
Yeah, I love that. Just kind of the information that you'd sent over and just kind of paying attention to you and the love on Facebook and with the Honey Badger Nation. I mean, I could tell, you really care about your people. And, that's kind of definitely the topic and what we're going to dive into a little bit today.
Yes.
For some just doesn't come naturally. So like where has that was there some lessons learned or some things early on that you were like, hey, I've got to really pour into my people if I want to achieve the things that I want to achieve? I guess kind of go back in time and give a little context to starting out and some of the lessons you've learned that have helped kind of bring you up to present day.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head. I had an experience that I didn't really enjoy, and it didn't sit well with me. It wasn't negative. It just wasn't the experience I expected. But I also had to realize that I didn't know what I didn't know. So that's the way that we lead the team is you don't know what you don't know until you know. And so you have to learn from experience. But the way that we really work together as a team and so successfully is we don't need to recreate the wheel. So that's entirely how we have taken the direction of the team of just stating, look, you don't have to recreate the wheel. If I've already learned the experience, just go with the flow. And when we have time, let's slow down to speed up to understand the why behind it. But for now, let's just keep focusing on the income opportunities and then figure out the system and the strategies behind it to make it even better. But in 2011, I went into full-time real estate. At that time, I had actually got my license in 2006, but that's when the market crashed here in San Diego. So everybody and their grandma had their license, but there was no real inventory of opportunities, especially being a brand new agent. So I got married in 2009, had my first child in 2009, and then I ended up going into real estate 2011. I was about 6 months pregnant with my second child, and I went in and joined a team, which was one agent who was so excited to start a team. And nothing ill to say about him, but he was never in the office. He never showed me how to open up a lockbox. He never showed me where to sign on a contract, yet alone directed me how to learn contracts. So I really was taken in by the transaction coordinator, and I learned exactly what I did and didn't want to do as a realtor, not even a team leader. I didn't have the vision to become a team until about 2.5, 3 years, until I personally had my own success. I just didn't feel like I had the right to start a team without actually having the personal credibility.
Yeah. And, I think what's exciting, what I heard there when you first got in and joined the team, there were some great leadership examples, right, of what not to do.
Yes.
And so, I think we look at that, we've all been in the experience of around poor leadership, and hopefully, instead of, talking down about them. I mean, it's the learning experience to be able to pour into yourself, and that's fantastic. What a, you know, hey, 6 months pregnant, that's no better time to get into real estate, right?
Right? There you go.
That's fantastic. So cool. So, 2013 team started, like, when, you know, kind of getting into, you know, how was it early on building a team? You know, there's definitely some lessons to be learned here. Hopefully everybody tuning in has their notepad and pen.
Yeah. So 2011, like I said, I went into real estate. Then I had my child in 2012. And that's when 6 months after my son, my second child was born, is when I realized, okay, I have to find out my why. And at that time, to be super transparent, my why at that moment was to prove to my husband that I could still do the business. Even though as a mom, even though as a wife, even though I was still working all the way up until that, because I still had a side job like most realtors do, I never slowed down. And so going full time in the business of July of 2013, I never stopped. But the first year really allowed me to build my grit. It allowed me to see how much I can push myself, what was the limit. And oddly enough, it was really scary. There was no limit. And I believe that's the reason why I became literally the top producer within 2.5 years at my brokerage. I was a #1 individual performer out of 563 agents within only 2.5 years of the business. So it was really rewarding, but there was a lot of sacrifice and there was a lot of missed moments with my children that I'll never get back, but I will make sure that I get back moving forward.
Yeah. Do you think that little chip on your shoulder was a driving factor for you?
It was that. And also at some point, I've been with my college sweetheart now for 16 years. And all of that craziness, that chaos, I've almost gone through a divorce twice. And there was a moment where he came to me and said, it is not my fault that I missed my wife. And that was my next why.
That's awesome. That's really powerful because, yeah, I mean, you know it, you've been in the business long enough. You've seen, you know, people trying to start teams, and within this business, that dynamic, it'll suck the relationship life right out of you. So that, you know, kudos for, you know, having somebody that loves you enough to be able to, you know, share that with you, and
Right.
kudos for you for being able to receive it.
Yes.
Right. So
The first step is to realize what is happening around you. And even though it might be happening to you, it might not be something that's for you. So you have to be, at some point in your life, you have to recognize that you're the one responsible for your decisions and your success. You're the only one who can do it, and you're the only one who can't do it.
own it. I love it. 100%. Fantastic. So cool. So, you know, today's topic is really, you know, the success that you've designed within your organization, creating the winning systems, building that dynamic culture, you know, probably assembling the right talent and the right people around you. So let's kind of dive in and, you know, really what are the key points? What are the key things that you guys do on a day in and day out basis that really make your system work?
Sure. You know, I'm infamous. I'm infamous to being known for being time blocking and really being on schedule. But it all starts with communication. I truly believe that if you don't have an accountability partner, whether it's you and one other person or you and 60 other people, if you don't have someone there holding you up and someone being a backbone, we're all human. There's days that I wake up that I don't want to get up. I don't want to move. I'm exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually, but you have to have someone in your corner that says, no, you know what? You said you want it. Let's go after it. I'll see you at the office at 7 a.m. or whatever it may be. But we're all about communication. The #1 tool that we use personally, internally for communication is the app Slack, which I'm sure everybody has heard about. But it allows you to stay in constant communication with the entire team or individually. And then it's not so obnoxious where your group texts are going off constantly or your Facebook Messenger is, you know, going off constantly. And that's really been powerful to us. We're able to create different channels that give us inventory updates, coming soon, talking about escrow challenges. It really empowers the entire team to step up into the leadership that I know every single one of them have. And it allows them to step in to answer a question even though they're not the head associate. And it's so amazing to see that fulfillment in other people because they too want to help, but they don't want to be the team leader, right? They don't want all that pressure. So communication is constant. It's something that we pride ourselves in, but we also set boundaries. Nothing before 8 a.m. and nothing after 8 p.m. And if they do want to personally reach out, they can. And if we happen to be up, then we have the discretion to obviously respond.
No, that's fantastic. What is what's team size? Give some context to the size of your organization right now.
Well, prior to coming to eXp Realty, we were only 18 agents, and we've had amazing agent attraction. We're now at 42 agents in the last 5.5 months. So we have just a little bit over 40, and I now officially have 4 admins because I only had one, and I cannot do this on my own. That's for sure.
Amen. Amen. And kudos for you for understanding that and letting go. Now, with as you've grown the organization, 42 agents, is everybody plugged into the Slack tool, the Slack channel?
Everyone goes through the same exact onboarding process. So that's another thing that I would say is, as a team leader or someone who wants to transition to a team role, you have to start videotaping everything. You have to start creating systems that will help save you time. That's one thing I didn't do previously, was I had, systems all set up together, if this, then that, but then to really take what I've already created and put it in a place like AdaptiveView, for example, that's a one-stop shop where it's a training academy, a training tool. So then that way I don't have to repeat myself 6 times to the brand new 6 agents that just came on this week. So everybody goes through the same exact onboarding process. And I also created something called Back to Basics, which I'm more than happy to share as well, that help people understand you have to slow down to speed up sometimes.
I love that. And you said you have all of the systems and the videos and the training living in the tool AdaptiveView?
AdaptiveView, correct. Yep.
Cool. How did
anybody can log on at any point at any hour of the day, and it actually shows me who's in there learning and who's listening and who's training. So it really also, I can really see the excitement and the growth in individuals who are pouring into their education.
I love that. Why did you choose that tool?
It was suggested to me by another top producer here in San Diego that works for them. And it's just super simple, super convenient to go in and house all of our training opportunities.
Gotcha. No, I love that. And simple is good. So that's fantastic. Well, cool. So yeah, number one agent complaint, number one client complaint, and your agents are kind of your clients now. So it's communication. So really focusing in on that and solving that constraint. Fantastic. Is everything housed inside? I mean, they can access everything through Slack. So like they can get through AdaptiveView while they're in Slack. Do you have everything inside of there?
Everything is plug and play on the team. And, it took us 2.5 years to get there, but it was a lot of trial and error. We've gone through 6 different CRMs to figure out what really works for us, right? But at the end of the day, you always hear the CRM that works is the one that you use. So
which one are you using?
We actually were using KV Core before coming to EXP. And it's something that I truly believe is a strong powerhouse as of a tool to have any brokerage plug and play into.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's fantastic. So we solve communication. What's the next main, pillar that really anchors, your organization together?
I would say training, availability, but most importantly, the leadership. You have to always come from a place that you want to make other people better than you. And that's my daily grind. I need to make sure that all the leaders who say that they want to be in a leadership position are actually being held accountable. Are they doing more than me? Can they be better than me one day? Absolutely. I want to be able to train the next best individual to replace me, in a sense that it's a true compliment if someone comes in and says, you know what, Z, I got this. And by the way, everyone calls me Z. So if I reference myself, that's me. Z, I got this. Let me take care of that. And there's times where, meetings go over and I have to rush to the next appointment. I'm going to be late. Instead, I reach out to my team lead and say, hey, I'm going to be a few minutes late. Can you step in for me until I get there? That is something that's absolutely priceless. So I'm constantly getting better with the systems, the protocol, and being very strategic with leadership. 100% leadership. And where we win as a team ultimately is also, being a part of EXP is a revenue share, but I also allow my own personal share to be shared with the team leaders as well. I have a totally different playbook here on Team Z. I don't have a revolving door. The running joke is, even if you try to fire me, Zandra, I'll see you on Monday, because they just are like, we want to be here. We want to get better. So availability on my signature line on my email, you have the ability to schedule an appointment with me something as simple as that tells a prospect that you are open. You're not too busy. You don't have to put, I'm never too busy for referrals. Put your calendar there and let them schedule you, and you'll see how amazing that tool really is.
No, that's fantastic. You said, even if they want to quit or leave, I'll see you on Monday. I mean,
Yeah, on Monday.
I don't know if you're a Seinfeld fan, but there's a Seinfeld episode for everything. But there's this one with George and the girlfriend, and George tries to break up with her, and she's like, "No, we're not breaking up."
No.
I
I
love
do.
it. Well, that's fantastic. So unpack leadership a little bit. I think for some it gets kind of thrown around and maybe a little bit of a different meaning to some. But for you and your organization and what you instill into your people, like, what does leadership mean?
That's a great question. It starts with respect and expectations. It really does. I set the expectation to the team that, look, I will always be available when I can, but I'm still human. And I'm not an octopus. I can't be everywhere at every point, but understand that I am so good at prioritizing, especially my time, that it's also a priority to me to work smarter and not harder. What does that mean? I'm always available, but it's when expected. If you expect me to respond to you in 10 seconds or less, and you're wondering what I'm doing and where I'm at, I can't be that team leader that brings opportunities if I'm always that got a minute leader, right? So everybody understands that it's not come to Zandra for an answer. It's first reach out to your team that want to be there for you, that are there for you. So we set the expectation that there's respect and boundaries, that if Zandra becomes all of a sudden, a manager, I'm no longer able to run the team. So they first reach out to a team lead, but the team lead also has the right to say, what did you do to find the answer first? Because if I'm just enabling you and I'm giving you the answers, how is that empowering you to be a better leader? You didn't learn anything. So especially with EXP, right? You have so many resources nowadays that can you go in to the, workplace or to the cloud and to the, brokerage and ask a quick question? Yes. But I would really also, I'm proud to say that I don't have to have broker support. This is why I became a solo agent for 2.5, 3 years, because then I have the right to answer the questions. So my number one takeaway is, having the availability, but setting the boundary that if you're the always got a minute person, you're never going to get anything done. All those minutes turn into wasted time, and not in a rude way, but just availability. So the leadership is important, but you don't have to have leaders there at all times. You just have to have accountability partners that could they go to them to ask the next best question first, right?
Right.
That's a huge thing for us here. It means, especially as we grow, we have to count on each other, and there's no stupid question. Like this, if you saw my office, I don't know if you could see back there, but we do the whole, it's an open door policy here, and there's no BS behind closed doors. My walls actually aren't all the way up for a reason. There's nothing to hide. You want to talk about something? Let's talk about it. You and I are business partners. There's nothing that you can't tell me. There's no stupid question. And I would rather give you my time now than have to try to fix something that's harder later. So it just comes into the respect of come as you are, but don't remain the same.
I love that. Did you say that one of the questions that you ask if they solve or if they overcome a challenge, you ask them how they figured that out, how they solved it?
Yes. What did you do first? What did you do first to get the answer? And if they say, I don't know, it's the same thing that when I do talking about leadership and availability, because time is everything. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? So with the respect, they can come sit down with me one-on-one at any point, but they are expected to come with a long list of what they've done to prove to me that they've put effort into their business. What can I help you with? I can't help you if I don't know what you have been doing.
Right.
If you can't, and this is another part of this, if you can't show me where time has gone, I don't know where you can get better, because I don't know what you've been doing. Now, do I know everything? Absolutely not. But have I tried everything under the sun? Absolutely. And the next best thing in all of this is I'm trainable myself. If you're doing something better, teach me. If I can save a minute here and shave off a minute there, let's learn and grow together. That's what this is all about, is being, again, open, but expecting that you put effort in first before asking with your hands out.
I love that. That's a huge nugget and takeaway for all of you guys listening in is reinforce the effort that your people are putting in, right? You know, don't just, hey, cool, how'd you figure that out? What did you try? What's
Right.
working? And then you're just reinforcing that type of action behavior and acknowledging it, right? Empowering them. That's huge. That's a really, I mean, that's a big takeaway even for myself. And I just want to emphasize that for everybody listening in. So it's fantastic. You've mentioned, time management a few times. So definitely something I know you take pride in. Kind of share what are some of the foundation, like what's kind of the structure of the system, the tools that you use to maximize your time.
I wholeheartedly believe in time blocking. For me, the number one question that I get from everybody, literally around the world, my DMs are filled with this question: how do you do it? My answer always is, I don't know. I just know what I'm doing, what's working for me. The only reason why I can be in front of other individuals like this is because I figured out what works for me. If you can't figure out what's really working for you, you're never going to reach that level of success that you have and you want. So I wholeheartedly believe in time blocking. And they say, fail to plan, plan to fail. I know exactly today until next week, until next Wednesday, what my availability is. So when you're on the phone prospecting and someone says, okay, yeah, I'm willing for you to come in, are you able to automatically say, how about tomorrow at 2 p.m. or how about Thursday at 10 a.m.? You should know your calendar at least a week in advance.
Mm.
And this is the number one thing that I want to encourage agents to remember. If you're not where you want to be, you have to do those income opportunities every single day. It's not going to come overnight, right? You plant the seeds, you got to water them, you got to follow up, you got to spend the time, but it falls in line with consistency and perseverance. If you automatically give up after 30 days, it's like even if you blanketed a farm, you really think that all of those seeds are going to grow within a 30-day time period? How many times did you reach out to them? So knowing exactly where you're at, what you're doing, and if you don't have the escrows that you want, you still have to pretend that you're in the escrows. What am I talking about? In your calendar, you have to time block an hour of contract training. In your calendar, you have to prospect an hour of follow-up calls with potential sellers that you might be in escrow. Does that mean scripts? Does that mean role play? I don't know what that means, but it's all about the action. When you create that routine, it's the same thing of building that grit of, okay, I've already have all these things going, but if I slow down, what's going to happen 2 months from now? You're not going to
Right.
have the same deals. So you got to keep with the momentum, but you got to keep going with it. You celebrate everything, even the small wins, because if you forget to celebrate because you're too busy cashing in checks, making calls, you're going to get burnt out quicker than you would like. And sooner or later, you're no longer going to have the same passion and the same why as you started.
What's kind of your ideal week kind of look like? If you could kind of lay that out and share.
Well, for me, to be honest, personally, it's more now the leadership. It's all training. For the last 4 months, I've personally slowed down on personal production. Prior to becoming a part of EXP, I was doing between 6 to 10 closings personally, all while running a 20 agent team. And so I was really high producing myself. Now, a lot of my time is going into trainings every single week. So for me, Monday, you have to start with a morning huddle. You have to start with surrounding yourself by people who just get it, who want the accountability, that energy. It's super important to me that you should always start a Monday morning with people that have the same vision, that you trust, and that are pushing you to be better. Let's see, Tuesday through Friday.
Unpack that morning huddle real quick before we move on
Sure.
from that, because that one. You know, a lot of folks try to do it. They about halfway get it right. They don't, like you say, the key word that you shared just a minute ago, consistent. So kind of share what the morning huddle looks like for you guys right now.
Sure. It's about 45 minutes, so 9:15 to 10 a.m. We have all agents who want to come in. They can. All meetings are optional. Obviously, they're not an employee of mine, so they have the option to come in, and I'll tell you, it's always a packed house. On Monday mornings, we come in, we break bread, we have our coffee, we sit down, we start with weekend wins. You have to start with life. If you go straight into business, that's all it's going to be, is about business. If people don't really feel that you care, that something happened to them over the weekend, whether it's a good thing or a challenge, you're going to potentially lose the loyalty, plain and simple. It's underlining truth. So we always start with weekend wins, and I just say, who would like to share any weekend wins? And I don't call on anybody except if they raise their hand. They share their weekend win, and we then after that go into inventory updates. We immediately go into active, pending, coming soon. We always clap with celebrations of confirmations of closings and opportunities. And then we go into just admin, talking about the house, anything that needs to be related to the team and the environment around us. Because if we don't have that healthy energy in the team, or there's things that haven't been talked about or discussed, we don't let them float around this office. Not at all. It's always clear communication. We then go into role play, what's going to be the scenario for the week, because following the Monday, Tuesday through Friday, every agent has the ability to go on to our Uber conference line. That's who we use. I pay $15 a month, and you can call in. And at 8:15 to 8:30, all the agents, whoever are on, it doesn't ever take us more than 15 minutes, tell us in 30 seconds or less their win for the day before and their main focus for the day. Now, this allows everybody to realize that their day wasn't as bad as they thought. And if they say that I really didn't have any wins, we challenge them to start over, because that's not true. There's always a win. You woke up, you didn't give up. There's always a win. So we really encourage people to see things in a clear vision, that the glass might be half empty, but it's still half full. It for sure is. So that's Tuesday through Friday. And then trainings in the office, contract trainings, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. to 12. And then Thursdays, prospect training, which is 11 to 12 in the office. It allows people to do the one-on-one scripting and role play. And then Wednesday night is call night. So we come together from 4 to 6 p.m., which typically runs 4 to 8 p.m. We'll crack a beer, to be honest with you, have everybody in their comfortable environment. No one's beyond, wasted. It just gives them that liquid courage a little bit. And we make phone calls. We ring a bell when there's a win, and we do it together.
I love that. That's awesome. Is there what else during the week from an accountability standpoint, right, that you had kind of talked about that you guys have? Do you assign accountability partners? Is there a check-in? Kind of what goes on the accountability side?
There is so much communication on Slack. I mean, hundreds of thousands of messages throughout the time that we've had it that allow every agent to share at all times. So even though the morning time is 30 seconds or less, every agent throughout the day is, I just conquered a buyer's presentation. Everyone is giving the emoji, high five, heart, great job, keep up the good work. It is constant encouragement. And that's the difference that makes this team so successful. We like that acknowledgement. We love it. We want to be seen. We want to be acknowledged for the effort. And that's super important with every love language. It doesn't matter what is your love language, but everyone loves acknowledgement. And that's what we really are really great
at. Really driving them, from a success standpoint, and being really productive on the things that matter. You are dealing with salespeople. So what do you do for fun to keep it competitive? I mean, do you guys have any, contests? I mean, are you guys having fun?
So we have something called the lunch club. So the lunch club on the team allows agents to, with efforts, earn points. So for example, you have to earn 50 points in order to qualify. The end of the month, we do an agent meeting. So that is more of a mandatory meeting. That's the reason being is because being at EXP, even though I have an office here in La Mesa, you don't have to come in, right? But on our all agent meeting, it's every end of the month and all the agents come in and you would sit in. I always have a guest speaker to take value away. This last Monday, we actually had a doctor come in talking about the importance of mental health and being able to learn breathing techniques and to really keep that stress level down. And so we had someone helping us with that. It was really, really cool. And so the way the lunch club works is if you open an escrow, you get 5 points. If you submit an offer, you get 4 points. If you volunteer to do role play, you get 2 points. If you're on Huddle, you get 1 point. If you post a social media post, you get 1 point. So the reality is whoever earns 50 points or more qualifies to go to a end of the month lunch, complimentary of me, and we do a mini mastermind. And this is where I really pour into them. They love it. It's super friendly competition. And that's another thing that you brought up. This team is very much respectful of, we know that at the end of the day, we are each other's competition. but it's friendly and we're always encouraging. And it's, again, a running joke that they're like, you know, if I went after a listing and I got an appointment and found out another agent got the appointment, we're like, game on, right? We're going to still go after the appointment. We may not team up together. We may team up together. Me, knowing me, I'm going to say, let's go do this together. Let's win it. But everybody loves the ability to have that challenge. I have agents who you're only required to get 50 points. They're in their 80s, 90s, even 100 points, because luck follows motion. At the end of the day, whoever's making Lunch Club are top performers. There's no secret to success. You put the effort in, it's going to come back to you. That's how this works.
That's fantastic. I love that. And yeah, that's a huge takeaway for all of you guys listening in. And, you know, it's just not something given, it's something earned, and
Right.
it's earned through behavior that's going to drive your results. I love that. So back on the guest real quick, you had the doctor in, I think that's amazing. That's a huge other, takeaway for you guys when you're looking to, who can come in and add value to your organization.
Absolutely.
Did you decide that, or was that kind of a consensus on the group? Hey, we would love some of this.
So that was actually one of my team leaders. It's her connection. And we believe in the power of obviously business to business. And we're really empowered by people who obviously have the opportunity to be referral partners as well. But this was a specific suggestion from our team leader, because she had experienced her wins with her personally. We found out later on that one of our agents actually would do the same concept after she went through divorce, and it helped her get through the emotions, because we know that real estate is that roller coaster. Having someone there that is focusing on breathing patterns and how the mind works and how when we react, it's typically all emotion, right? Versus mental reaction. Are you being reactive, or, are you being responsive? And so it allowed us to close our eyes, and she taught us the power of the square, that if you're ever in a position where you feel that you are nervous or have a high sense of anxiety, close your eyes or focus on the square. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. I know what the technique is called, but I'll be honest with you, my mind is everywhere. I think it's
That's
ACR,
perfect.
whatever it might be, but we've just, with the takeaways were there, and I could tell you, just even yesterday I had a speaking event and I was a little bit nervous, and I found a square and I was like, ooh, ooh, the entire time. And I got up there and I was like, I wasn't nervous. I think I found my talent. So
That's
just
amazing.
those takeaways. But
Yep.
previously, my business mentor has come in and talked about the importance of the pillars of understanding personalities. If you don't know who you're talking to, you're going to lose if you don't know how to react to their response. So it's all about growth. It's all about personal growth.
Yeah, I love that. And, the lesson I wanted to emphasize for everybody listening in is that you, as the team lead, you don't have to have all the answers. I mean, your team is there, empower them. Who do they want? Sitting in on with a highly effective team this morning, and one of them, they were like, hey, we want some more on the personal financial side. Cool. Guess what's going to get on the calendar? We're going to find somebody that can speak to that and add value to you guys. So that's a huge lesson right there. I love that. No, it's fantastic. So anything else kind of in your wheelhouse throughout the week? I know you had kind of mentioned one of your key points was your EOS. What is that all about?
Evidence of success. So myself and my title partner here in San Diego, when about 4 years ago, when we sat down together, we were thinking, okay, how do we take the one opportunity or the 6 opportunities that I got throughout the year, and how do I turn that into times 3? And what it comes down to is evidence of success. The team really does benefit from everyone's success. And what I mean by that is, why should I have a newer licensed agent who's super driven, super encouraged to want more, be scared to go to a listing appointment, because then when the seller asks him, well, how many homes have you sold? They're going to have to say 0. So it's very powerful to say that the great thing, Mr. Seller, is that I come with a team. What does that mean for you? You don't only have me as an agent, but you have 42 other agents that are also working on your behalf. And what that means to you is, last year alone, we sold 321 properties together, because it's a team effort. So I don't understand how anybody could want to do this alone unless they have a true high percentage of, closings. Now, the market share for us, my team, I've had agents come in. I have a different platform where there's no other word I have to use, but I allow the team to brand themselves. With EXP, if they want their own brand, It's not the Z show. I've already created my brand. People know me. And I have agents come in and say, hey, Z, I love you. I love your leadership. You're going to get your split no matter what, but I want to do my own thing. Okay, cool. Let's talk about that. Go do your own thing and let me know how that works for you. We've had every agent do that and they come back to say, okay, so I'm not going to do that anymore because I have to start all over when you've already paved the way. You have the team success. So why not ride the coattail and just be a part of the success that we already have versus trying to go do your own brand? Now, I also respect anybody who wants to do their own brand. The difference is we're highly respected. We really are. Our offers are being accepted all the time because they see our name. And what that really lies on is the evidence of success, that there's not one agent out there in our state that can say, Z team really sucked. You know, last time I worked with them, they were so unprofessional. They didn't answer their phone. You know, when I asked a simple question about where their contingency removals are, they yelled at me. No, we come with a level of professionalism that even if you have another agent yelling at you, I've been in the business for 22 years. I'm like, great. I was 5 years old, right? I don't know what you want me to say. Let me be sarcastic back, but I won't. Great. Well, with that being said, I'm sure you can appreciate that we are closing partners. And what that means to me is that you and I will work together to reach the end goal. So let's put aside our personal beliefs and let's reach that goal. How can I help you help me? They're screaming, they're yelling and blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. You know what? I would love to have a conversation with you, but at this time, I really can't hear you. So I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go and then hang up. 10 minutes later, I am so sorry I acted that way. Forgive me. You're right. Let's just get this done. Because the emotion got in the way. You got to remove the emotions and you can't take it personally. And I'm learning more than ever as a team lead, I'm going to get hurt. I am. It comes with the territory. But I know I gave my best. And as long as I didn't lie, steal, or cheat, and I'm sleeping on a clean pillow every night, I'm good. I'm really good.
That's awesome. I love that. You know, for you as this continues to grow and, you know, what's kind of the shift for you, the value proposition, adding back into agents that's attracting them. I mean, you've built, you know, a successful brand. You are the brand. You've built that through your leadership, which is pouring out of this conversation for those of you listening in. You know, so definitely kudos to you because it all starts with you. You wouldn't be at 42 if it didn't. And so like, as things shift, what is the value proposition for you that you're promising to pour in, right? You have, like you said, you have that, the power of love, the accountability, the leadership, the communication, but what else, for you right now, when you're talking to agents that's like, man, I've got to get over there with Z. I really want to be a part of what she's doing. What are some of those things that's have allowed you to double in size in less than 6 months?
Yeah. You know, I really understand that I truly make it look really easy, but and Mike's question as well too. I haven't recruited one person. I have not called anyone. I've just agent attracted based on authenticity. I've been me. I have so many agents that once they meet me, they're like, whoa, you're actually nice. And I'm like, what? Like, well, most top producers are really not very nice. I don't have time to remember my lies. I don't have time to remember who I was yesterday versus today. I'm not black. I'm either black or white. There's no gray with me. It comes down to just being real. I don't want to fake the funk. I will tell you that the number one thing that I laugh about is when I have to answer my phone. I'm like, hi, this is Zandra. And then hang up. Oh my God. Okay. What's next? You know, we change the voice, but other than that, I don't change me. I don't change my personality. And it's all mushy of love and, oh, we respect each other and we're there for each other. It's the God honest truth. People want family. I have so many people coming in and DMing me and reaching out, Z, let's have a conversation. Great. It's just that. I don't need to push anything. I don't need to be aggressive. Be you. Record everything. Let people hear you. The more that you share, the more people are going to want to be with you. I'm an open book. I don't care if you take my listing presentation, my buyer's presentation, you take what I say and make it yours, because I know with confidence, I created it. I'm going to do it my way. And you can take what I've already taught you and you can do it your way, but I know that I'm going to win no matter what because I created it. Now, you are you, I am me. No one's better. we're the best versions of ourselves based on continuously growing. And that's all people want. They want family, they want growth, they want to be heard, they want to feel appreciated, but most importantly, they want to be recognized for their efforts. And the agents that have come to the team have come from great teams where I have the leaders calling me saying, Z, out of all agents, I'm proud that my agent came to you because I respect you and only one other person. But the reality is that the person left because they didn't feel appreciated. The leadership was there, the systems and structures, we got that down, cool, whatever, plug and play. But they want to be felt cared for.
Yeah, you're 100% spot on, and we just had a question, and you nailed it. And you know, the thing is that if you're not having that level of success, it's not getting out and like you said, connecting with enough people within the community. And you know, I mean, we're all guilty of this, especially as high producers. We tend to get in our little lane and not want to be friendly and share. And you know, that's just scarcity mindset. And I think, you know, what I hear from you is just nothing but abundance and just really adding value and pouring into people. And that's the answer. That's the answer. And you know, I think just with our experience over the last couple of years within the organization, those that take the time to build relationships are the ones that are thriving within any model. It doesn't matter at EXP or wherever. If you're committed to deepening relationships, your organization's going to grow.
Absolutely.
And that's what I hear from you.
There's more than enough business everywhere. And I will tell you, for those people who are lying, stealing, and cheating, it comes back around. This circle is so small. And I will tell you, I say it all the time out loud because I don't care. I have a little black book of agents that have done me wrong. And it's not that I won't give them business or opportunity. I just know I don't ever want to work that way. And I will let my client who has hired me, trusted me based on experience to give them feedback. And I will tell you more than ever, I have sellers say, have you worked with them before? Now, I'll never throw them under the bus, but I will say, you know what? I have. And from my experience, I know that I'm going to probably have to handhold a little bit more, and I'm willing to do that. And not because I think I'm better, but I will tell you, I have agents everywhere, every brokerage that say, Z, who do you know for this, that? And the reason why I have such a large book of business is because the more people you know, the more people know me.
Yeah.
And if I'm a constant giver and I'm constantly giving referrals and these are great people, we are blessed to be a blessing. And if I can help an agent get their offer accepted, I tell agents all the time, you want your offer accepted? Okay, you don't know the agent. How can you get your offer accepted? Go to their Facebook page, find every mutual friend that you have, hit them up and tell them to give you a good word. That's how you get your offer accepted.
Yeah.
It's the power of playing together.
I love that. That's fantastic. And you being tremendously resourceful. But yeah, just being genuine, just being who you are at the highest of levels and really deepening of those relationships. That's awesome. What's looking forward for you from a, you know, what's the big vision or the big, hairy, audacious goal, or what's next for the Z team?
For us, it's just constant growth. I believe in things happen in our life for a reason, and I don't take it lightly when opportunities are granted. I'm always a yes person, and the reason being is that if I don't have fear leading me, I'm going to stay stagnant. And if I'm the only one that I'm following, then I can't go anywhere because I want to be the dumbest one in the room. I don't want to be the brokest, but I want to be the dumbest one in the room, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to just continue to grow, and I believe in the power of collaboration and partnerships and constant growth. And sometimes things that are presented in our life don't make sense, but you have to allow faith to lead you. And I believe that if it's meant for you, it's going to happen. So I'm a believer of just constantly getting to know more people. And that's my goal here, is to continue to train the team and continue to have agent attraction and just allow the blessings to come back to us, because I do believe that we deserve it. We've been working really hard. And, you know, I had an agent about 2 weeks ago get a phone call from their seller that I went on a listing appointment, and we couldn't sell their property for what they wanted. We knew that we took the property overpriced, but we were like, we got this, we're going to create the relationship. We'll start that. Well, about 2 weeks ago, after a month on the market, they said, oh, we don't want to sell anymore. And I said, okay, well, let's talk about that. What could we have done better? Well, I don't know. I don't want to be in a contract with you. And I'm like, contract. Who are you talking to? Who's giving you that direction? So I dug a little bit deeper, and I just said, okay, great. We'll release you from contract. But what this means is you won't be able to sign another listing appointment, a listing agreement for the next 5 months. They got all mad, started calling me a manipulator. I'm a scammer. And I was like, you know what? That's absolutely okay. I understand that you feel that way. However, you can't get mad that I'm giving you the details about what you signed. And we released them from contract. I just let my agent know, you know what, I don't feel right about it, but let it be. It wasn't meant to be, let it go. And we're teaching the agents to just let go sometimes. And even though it's a loss, and probably easier for me as Team Z, who is collecting commissions and running a large successful team, it's easier for me to say, oh, whatever, you got the next one. Well, in all of that, 2 days later, they listed with Redfin. So what did that teach my agent? It taught them to just deal with it. And there's life lessons being learned throughout the way. So my constant goal and my focus right now is the team, teaching them that you are not your circumstance. You can't cash a check before you get it. But most importantly, nothing is owed to you. Nothing is promised. And you have to work freaking hard, plain and simple.
Yeah. I love that. That's awesome. So I know, looking at, the agent attraction, the training, is that what you would say that you're the most excited about right now?
I am because, EXP has this great platform of being able to share commissions with each other. But at the same time, you have to have closings, right? We can recruit all day long and it makes sense. It really makes sense, but you have to have performers. So what I'm really doing at this point is I'm doing agent attraction. I'm doing career briefings. So I've partnered up with a school here in San Diego that for individuals who are interested in getting their license, we're going to do career briefings. What does that mean? Do you have 6 to 12 months of savings? Because if you think that you're going to come into real estate, join a top producing team and have all these wins overnight, it's not going to happen. And then you're going to come back to someone like me, a team leader, and say, what's going on? I don't have any closings yet, and I only have 1 more month left to pay. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. Love you to death, but don't put the pressure on me. What can we do to help you win? So let's tap into your resources. Let's talk about what you love to do, what you don't like to do, and let's do more of that, because it's going to be more rewarding when you learn how the technique is needed to be, given to earn the actual business and relationship. So my main focus right now is agent attraction through leadership and training. I love training. If I could be in front of a classroom all day long, I would do so. As a little girl, I wanted to be a teacher, and it's crazy that I'm a teacher in a sense of real estate. Yep. So it's really cool to see that full circle. So just continuing to help people grow.
Yeah, that's amazing from a self-awareness standpoint, being able to realize that and leverage that on a completely different platform, right? A completely different industry, but you are, coming with that teacher's heart. So that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, cool. Any last things as we kind of wrap up this episode that you really want to, hammer home with everybody listening in?
Yeah, I'll bring up, and I'll just bring up here really quick, but I yesterday had a conversation with a large group of women, the Women's Council of Realtors. And yesterday I led with the 4 elements, the 4 agreements. I want to leave everybody with this because I do believe it's absolutely necessary in your business. The 4 agreements: be impeccable with your word, speak with integrity. Don't ever tell people what they want to hear, because then you're going to have to find yourself trying to remember the lie that you told. So say only what you truly mean. If you have a client that's yelling at you and why should I sign? Why should I list with you? Mirror them. Give them the same exact attraction and response, because you're not going to get through them if you're talking to them in a level C when they're really a D driver, right? Yeah. Don't take anything personally. Look, things are going to happen to you, but if you look at them happening for you, you're going to have a better response and not just a reaction. Ultimately, when you just accept what's happening around you, you're going to see that the universe will be in your favor. It's going to happen for a reason. You can't take anything personally. My favorite: don't make assumptions. You have to find the courage to ask what you want from them. If you're not asking the right questions, you're losing opportunities. For every one thing that you don't ask, you're potentially missing 3 more opportunities. So practice your everyday verbiage, practice you. Take Mike Ferry, take Grant Cardone, take Tony Robbins scripts and make them your own. Stop trying to be someone that you're not, and stop worrying about what other people are doing and just do it. But don't make assumptions with the main fact. The factor is that, look, you will not ever avoid drama. It's going to come, but it's all based on how you perceive it. You got to take it as a lesson learned each time. And lastly, always do your best. What I mean by that, moment to moment, you're going to have things that happen to you. And ultimately, based on the health of your mind, that's when you know that you've won. When you no longer react to stupidity, when you no longer act to sensitivity and anger, you have to just always act your best. And like I said earlier, don't mimic the other realtor or the other affiliate that's not really being professional. Remain calm and be the better person, because I promise you, you will continue to see the blessings coming your way, and you have to believe that your best days are ahead of you. That's for sure.
That's amazing. I greatly appreciate you sharing that, for one. Also, making the time. I know, like you said, you protect your time and value it at a super high level, which is another lesson learned for everybody listening in. And
Yes.
making the time to jump on and just add value back to the community. You are definitely a certified badass, definitely a honey badger at heart. And yeah, thank you for just all that you do back into the community, and again, making the time. I appreciate you jumping on, and appreciate all you guys listening in, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.